Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm ARTWITHKODA, and Era 3 paves the way for the next chapter of Steven Universe, as I'm sure Steven's adventures going forward will build off of the changes to Diamond's put into place. It's a whole new ballpark. The Homeworld we saw will not be the Homeworld we see in upcoming episodes of the series. All of Homeworld's rules and regulations came from White Diamond, but her entire ideology was flawed. She thought she was everyone and that everyone was her. After all, she's every color of the light, and thus she thought she knew what was best for everyone. But removing Steven's gem, leading to another Steven reforming, as opposed to the return of Pink Diamond, caused White to realize everything she thought she knew was wrong. So now, she's willing to give something new a try. She thought she was on the right track, but had horrible execution. So now that Era 3 will effectively be a new beginning for Homeworld, what are some of the changes we can expect? Well, I think I have a few ideas. But first, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of our amazing patrons over at patreon.com/roundtablevids, whose support helps ensure our future. Seriously, you guys are the best. And if you've ever enjoyed any of our content, consider heading over and pledging any amount you'd like. Even $1 can go a very long way. We would love to get to a point where our Patreon helps us do bigger and better things. It's a dream of ours to grow our team and produce the content we want. Content that's a vast improvement from what we're already doing now. And if you can't pledge on Patreon, no problem. Just watching that video, clicking that like button, commenting, subscribing, all of that helps us in the long run as well. But I've rambled on for long enough. You're here for Homeworld. So the first big change, and the only one we really have a good idea on, is cross-gem fusion legalization. This isn't conjecture. This was confirmed by Sugar herself on the Steven Universe podcast. Gems will now be able to fuse regardless of their court, their cut, or any of that mumbo jumbo. So now fusions like Rhodonite and Garnet can exist and be their own thing. Now you're probably wondering something, and yes, the Jades are fine, despite being pooped by Yellow Diamond and Together Alone. I know a lot of people were afraid that maybe they were shattered off screen. After all, they didn't pop up and change your mind. We didn't see them in Yellow Diamond's burning room, but rest be assured, they're safe, they're well, and hopefully we'll see them again. I can't stress enough how important this is. Cross-gem fusion legalization could result in more unity of Homeworld's courts, more gems working together, growing closer to one another, building camaraderie between all four courts. No more gems being appalled and disgusted because others share a deeper bond. It can lead to acceptance. It could also create new roles in Homeworld systems, as fusions would be able to accomplish things previously thought to be impossible, as the existence of some fusions lead to new abilities and weapons, like how Garnet can harness electricity as a result of Sapphire's ice and Ruby's fire. And the weapons, oh my god, the weapons. I'm not necessarily sure if they'll need them, or at least use them as tools as opposed to weapons, but the possibilities get me excited. Fusions like Topaz could be happier and more willing to fulfill their duties in general. We saw how miserable Topaz was, how she's only allowed to exist as one unit when on miserable missions, always having someone lodged in them. Now this may lead you to wonder, alright, what are gems actually going to do in this new era? Still colonizing? And we'll get to that in a second. There's a few more things we need to check off our list first, like how more gems will be able to express themselves. Something introduced in Together Alone, with Yellow Pearl and Blue Pearl discovering their hobbies, like how Yellow Pearl likes to be a model, and Blue Pearl likes to draw and illustrate. Oh my god, she could be the next storyboard artist. Put Blue Pearl on the Crewniverse. Imagine what other gems could do. What other hobbies and talents they had all along, but weren't able to utilize because of Homeworld standards, that initially it was frowned upon. Something tells me the Zircons would kill it at chess. And as I speculated before, Pink Pearl could help. She's still on Homeworld, away from Steven and the Crystal Gems. The best way to honor Pink Diamond's legacy and introduce fun to Homeworld would be utilizing Pink Pearl as someone in charge of all those activities. Now, if you want to go more in depth on all of that, please check out my video on it. I'm so excited to see where they could take that character because I feel as if she has a lot of potential. However, expression and communication doesn't cease there, as I'm thinking Earth could play a role in Era 3. Perhaps it could become a homeworld outreach, and also a hub for Gemkind, allowing gems to visit the planet, learn more about Earth's culture, potentially even become a crystal gem. After all, they're now allies, and I'm sure they'd still be down with new recruits. However, they could also set something up for humans, allowing them to potentially adapt and learn about Homeworld's technology and their culture. Continue to bridge that gap between humans and Gemkind. This would also allow Steven to continue the title of Pink Diamond without being his mother, being able to put his own spin on things, being actively involved in Homeworld and their affairs without having to wear a silly little getup or having to meet expectations of someone who's no longer around. I'd love to see Steven actually embrace his diamond heritage, but in a way where he can still be himself and still live his life. Ultimately, this leads us to ask, what's Homeworld's new purpose? What could the diamonds do now after everything they've been through? Can they truly learn from Steven? Particularly White Diamond. Well, she said herself, her role is to make everything better. But as we all know, she was going about it the wrong way, forcing her authority over gems, quite literally controlling them if they weren't living up to her standard, colonizing planets, taking life away to spread her empire. White Diamond thought making things better meant making everything in her own image, that everything had to be her. So how can she truly make things better for everyone? Helping the Crypto Gems was really just the beginning. There's a lot more work to be done here. Hear me out. I think instead of taking life from planets, White Diamond and the rest of Gemkind could give life to planets, using their resources and technology to try and restore the planets they transformed into colonies and visit new planets, aiding them in any resources they need and grow their planet into a healthy status, spreading their influence across the galaxy without conquering and oppressing other life. Essentially being Captain Planet and the Planeteers, taking care of other planets and their environments, and slowly restoring their own. I mean, look at Homeworld as a planet. Oh my, that's not pretty. That's not pretty at all. Peridot did try to mention in message received that she had a plan to work with Earth to utilize some of its resources without harming the planet and all of its organic beings. I think now is the time for that plan to come into play, and to give Peridot a bigger role, for her to truly be the savior of Homeworld and the entire galaxy. Seriously, Peridot actually has amazing potential. They really need to take advantage of her character and give her a proper spotlight and arc without making her the comic relief. If you're wondering, what about Yellow and Blue Diamond? Well, we need to remember, Blue Diamond's core are diplomatic gems, so assumably Blue Diamond handles all the communications between Homeworld and other races, although before, it was primarily used to scout out other planets and colonize them without much permission. So I believe Blue and her court would still be used as diplomatic gems, actually reaching out and communicating with other planets. Blue's gems scouting on planets, but not to colonize, but rather see what needs improvement. What can Homeworld do to help? It's been pretty well established that out of all 3 remaining diamonds, Blue is closest to being the nice one, so I can definitely see her being front and center with helping out. As for Yellow Diamond, this is where things get a bit more interesting, as Yellow commands the military of Homeworld, something that I don't really see changing because even if Homeworld does change their entire operation to help other planets, you still need a military, and you still need an army. You never know what could happen. But I'm thinking the diamonds may not be the only conquerors out there. There could be a ton of warlords and other empires out in space. So perhaps Yellow could command Homeworld's military to find any other war refugees out there, rehabilitate them, and ward off enemy forces, using the military for good and not evil. Now that I think about it, I personally am more excited to see Yellow Diamond than anything in Era 3. How is someone who's used to brute force and violence going to adjust in a peaceful era? Honestly, just plot threads like this makes the future Steven Universe much brighter. Now, as I mentioned before, as great as this all sounds, it could have some pretty stressful consequences. Breakout factions from gems who don't want to change. Again, I would love if Emerald or Aquamarine rose up against the diamonds, trying to destroy all the progress they're making. They resist Homeworld's new rules. They don't want to change. They like conquering planets and eradicating any life that stands in their way. There's also surviving races from from Homeworld's conquest, who either don't believe in their intentions to change, nor do they believe Homeworld can mend the damage that was done. There's always going to be a few bumps in the road when trying to change. I actually did a video running down all the possibilities of Homeworld's new threats. Also check that out if you haven't yet. Guys, there's so much content we've done for you to consume. But that's all I really have for now on this topic. What do you guys think? We want to hear your thoughts. Can the Gem Empire truly change? And if so, what do you think can be done? What other new rules do you think could be in place? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for my own hot take, you can find me at ARTWITHKODA. We're also on Instagram. Special thanks to ARTWITHKODA for creating an awesome thumbnail. If you want to check out more of his amazing art, you can find him on Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to his YouTube channel at ARTWITHKODA. Link in the description. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of the channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Also, pick up some merch. Links to everything in the description. If you enjoyed this video, throw it a like, and subscribe to the Roundtable so you never miss any great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. ARTWITHKODA out.